What's up, everyone? I'm going to give people a minute to come in. Hope everyone is enjoying their, what is today? Wednesday. It's been a really long week, you guys. It's been a really long week. I feel like we've all aged about, 10 years in a couple days. So I hope you all are faring well, faring okay. Let me make sure that I have, there we are. I've got your comments on. I can see you. Awesome. I wanted to pop in and talk with you guys. What's up, everyone? I see you saying hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, Ron, you're still going fishing. Good for you. Good for you. What's up? Thanks for joining me. So I really honestly am very curious to get your thoughts on the latest and greatest with all of this coronavirus. Oh, Smith & Wesson, no notification. Is that surprising at all? It's really not surprising at all. The latest and greatest on this coronavirus, COVID-19 nonsense. I want to get your thoughts. We've got all of these government forced quarantines going on. And I find it so curious that so many people are totally fine with devastating our economy in exchange for the government making them feel like they're safe. And what really is perplexing to me, and I've put this question out on Twitter, but I really want to know, thank you guys, I appreciate it, all your comments. I really want to know, there seems to be a magic threshold. There seems to be a magic number when you look at why people are not willing to shut down an economy over a seasonal flu that kills, 60,000 up to 60,000 Americans, just Americans per year. We're totally fine with that number of people dying and not shutting down and devastating the economy over. But now all of a sudden you get to a different number that you think may happen, even though it hasn't already. And you say, yes, please, government, come, take me, take over, tell me what to do, tell me to stay in. I just want you to tell me how to live my life. I don't get it. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing. What is the threshold? What is the magic number? If it's not 60,000, if 60,000 is totally fine, what is the magic number? I'm trying to find out because for the life of me, I really can't understand it other than the people of this nation are so privileged. We are so blessed. We live in a time where we are so sheltered that just the pure thought that we are somehow protected via vaccine, via cure, via, just a treatment, if you get it, whatever the case may be, if we think there's a protection out there for that, it doesn't matter how good that protection is, how effective that protection is. It doesn't matter any of those things. We've been conditioned to believe that if there is some sort of treatment for something, it's not as scary as something with no treatment. But if there's still 60,000 people dying, there's still 60,000 people dying. So if we're going to upend an entire economy over people dying, why not do it for the seasonal flu? I'm really honestly trying to understand. I really am. We've had, let me give you an example that really is kind of setting me off. I live in Collin County in Texas. And there's a judge who just came out and said, yeah, we're going to do a stay-at-home place thing, but all businesses are considered essential and are to remain open. So if you're a resident, you should probably shelter in place. But if you're a business, you can remain open. And I was like, hell yeah, that is my government. That is my county. Yes, keep the businesses open because when you are talking about public health, you have to also consider the economy. Like the economy factors into public health. And if you don't think the economy factors into public health, you're crazy and you have no idea how economics works. So I was like, yes, that is absolutely the right thing to do. Thank you for keeping our businesses open. Well, apparently a lot of people were really pissed off about that. A lot of people were really pissed off that my county decided to keep businesses open. They said, I can't believe that you would put profits above public health. I just can't believe it. They're writing nasty letters to the mayor. They're writing nasty letters to this judge. And it's just truly, truly appalling to me. Because again, it's like you guys are picking and choosing what you want to count as substantial death and something that's, warranting upending an entire economy about, and something that is totally fine and we'll just look the other way while 60,000 people die every year. And that's fine because we say we have a vaccine. So we're not going to care about the people who are still dying from that. But let's devastate the economy over this. And I really, you know what, Wes, that's funny. That's just what I was getting to. I really do believe it's the fear of the unknown. Because again, people are conditioned to believe if there is some sort of fix, even if, let's say let's consider the flu vaccine for a second. Now, the flu is gross, right? The flu is nasty. There is a flu vaccine that people can get every year. But some years, it's a guess every year. Every year, they're like, what do we think the flu strain is going to be this year? And that's what they make the vaccine. They don't know if that's what it's going to be. So sometimes, some years, the flu vaccine ends up only being like 10% effective. So if 50% of the population, let's say, is getting the flu vaccine and it's only 10% effective, we're really not as protected as we think we are from the flu. We're really not that protected if you look at it. Yet we don't walk around acting like the world is about to end. We don't walk around saying, oh my God, we need to social distance. We need to keep 6 feet away. Don't you dare come in contact with me. I'm staying in my house. I can't communicate with people outside in the outside world. We don't see the panic that we're seeing over this. And I do really think that it all comes down to pushing fear of the unknown, because when people are afraid of something that they don't know enough about, apparently many of us are happily willing to just give away our liberties, to just give away our freedoms, give them back to the government. Government, please protect me from this disease because I'm scared of it because I don't know anything about it. And it's just incredible to me. You know what I'm scared of? I'm scared of devastating a global economy over an upper respiratory virus. I got it. It's a nasty virus and it's really bad for the elderly. And I want to protect the elderly too. But what I'm saying is devastating an entire global economy is not the way to protect our senior citizens from an upper respiratory infection that could hurt them. That's not the way to protect them. The way to protect them is to keep this economy flowing, to keep this economy going, and put in proper precautions, proper safety measures so that they can still be protected. However, let me throw something else into the equation. And I am trying to keep up with your comments and I do want to get to them here in a minute, but I'm on a rant here, people. However, let me bring something else into the equation that I keep thinking of, right? Because everyone says we have to protect the elderly. We have to protect the elderly. What if there's an 80-year-old person who says, I've lived my life the way I want to live my life, okay? And if I want to go to the grocery store and do my own freaking shopping, and I want to go out to the park, and I want to go, live my life because I'm 80 years old and I have the right to do that, who are we to tell them, no, sir, you have to stay inside because we're here to protect you? Who is the government to tell them, oh, no, it's for your own good. You need to self-quarantine? Really, who are we to do that? And I know I keep hearing the reasoning that, well, your freedom can't infringe on my freedom, but it does. Every single day it does. We live in a free society where every single day when we walk outside our doors, we are putting ourselves at risk of so many different things. We're putting ourselves at risk for injury, of death. Every time you get in a car, you're putting yourself at major risk. We fly, we drive, we do all sorts of things that are putting our lives in greater risk. We go to the store every single day not knowing who at the grocery store could have the flu or some sort of virus or whatever it is. That's the risk that you take in a free society. That is the risk every day that you take when you walk out of your door. You take the risk that you may not be totally protected. And that's the risk that you have to choose to take. And that's the risk that I choose to take with my family. Now, I'm not saying that I'm like disregarding government policies or government orders, because I'm not. And I am being cautious, and I am using social distancing, and I am washing my hands because I do care about other people. But at the end of the day, if you're asking me to prioritize your family over my family and putting food on the table, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, because my priority is my family. And putting food on the table and providing for my son and making sure that we have what we need. And I will do whatever I need to do to make sure that I can provide for my family. Your family is not my priority. Again, I'm not saying I'm not going to be cautious because I don't care about other people, because I do, but I wouldn't expect anyone else's family to make a decision that prioritized me and not them. So it just blows my mind. There are so many people who are begging the government to please step in. I saw in this moms group, which I shouldn't go to because I not like other moms, I guess. I just can't handle the drama. I see so many moms who are like, oh my God, there are people who are letting their kids run around at the park. And then there's another mom who's like, I think you should call the police. I'm like, the hell are you talking about? Call the police? Why don't you just stay off the playground? How about you mind your own business and stay off the playground and let them live their lives? Because if you're being, sanitary, you're washing your hands, you're watching where you go, you're not going out. What does it matter to you if someone who isn't infected, who doesn't have a disease, goes out to the damn park with their kids? You can't spread a disease that you don't have. And I think that's what people are forgetting right now. Like, I can't spread a disease that I don't have. My child cannot spread a disease that he does not have. And I understand that a lot of people are asymptomatic. But again, that's the risk that you take in a free society every time you step outside your door. The seasonal flu also can be, you can transfer the flu. You can give it to someone before your symptoms start. According to the CDC, look it up. The CDC themselves say that I think it's at least a day before you start showing symptoms, you can actually pass it on to others. And we don't shut down the entire freaking economy every season of, October to March because we're really worried that the flu might kill some people. It's unbelievable. It's unfreaking believable. All right, I want to get to some of your comments. Donna, I completely agree with you. This is not about the virus. This is about control. And you know what's scary is it's coming from both parties. Mostly the Democrats, I'm not going to lie, but it's coming from both parties. They're totally fine with taking all of your powers back to them. And guess what? They ain't giving it back. After this whole pandemic is done, they ain't giving your powers back, okay? They're not giving your freedoms back to you willingly. When have you ever known the government to be like, yeah, I know that we just took all of that control and that power from you, but we're ready to give it back to you now. They don't do that. They don't do that. And I feel like as Americans, we should have learned this by now. We should have gotten to the point where we understood that by now. And still, we're like, oh my God, we're paralyzed by fear. Please help us. Please just take all of my freedom. It's unfreaking believable. This is not why we live in America, people. It really isn't. Just some brown conservative, relatable, says it's hype, but the damage to the economy isn't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I have yet to see how this is as bad as all of the quote experts claimed that it was going to be, which by the way is why we don't put doctors in charge of our public health or our public economic policy. We don't ask our doctors to run our economy. There's a reason for that, because these doctors, these experts, these researchers, these scientists, they're not putting our economy in the forefront of their mind when they're telling us all of these possible projections. That's not their job. So we can't let what some doctor says dictate how we run our entire country and how we run our economy. It's just unbelievable. 1775 Adam said, I'd like to cancel my trial run of socialism, please. Me too. Also, can I have a refund on whatever the hell I paid for this trial run? Because that was not my credit card. I did not use that credit card to sign up for that. That must have been my credit card getting hacked. So give me my money back while you're at it, please. Let's see. Wesley, my biggest fear is we've now created new precedent and created a new weapon for the left or even the right to use when they don't have someone in office they like. I completely agree. And that's what I keep saying is that, I mean, like, now they know. All you have to do is instill fear in your public, and they will bend over backwards and take it up the rear. Whatever you want from them, whatever powers you want from them, they're going to just, please, sir, may I have another? If you instill enough fear in them. Now, I didn't see who it was, but someone just said, you usually agree with me, but we have to look at other countries. But honestly, you can't look at other countries. You can't compare other countries to this. For instance, you certainly can't compare China to this. You can't even know if China's numbers are reliable. You can't compare Italy to us. They have a different way of life. They have one of the oldest populations in the world. And they also have people who, like, there's the large majority of their population smokes. Let's look at the numbers that we already have. Even in New York, it hasn't peaked for 2 days. It's actually, it's actually gone down from what I read from the CDC this morning. And it's really all of the current projections, now that we're getting more testing here in this country, which we said we needed to get before we started making these crazy projections of like 3 to 4% mortality rates. We were like, well, hold on. These numbers are skewed because we're not doing enough tests. Once we get enough tests, we'll get a better depiction of what that mortality rate really looks like. It keeps going down. It keeps going down, and yet the fear and the panic is going up because people are buying into it, because they're worried that they don't have a, quote, protection that they have been conditioned to know that they have. And they're just like, it just blows my mind, you guys. It blows my mind. China does need to outlaw wet markets. Don't even get me started on freaking China. Ron says this is all about the Trump economy. Yeah, I know. Because that's how much the left hates America and hates Donald Trump, is that they would rather devastate the entire economy so that they can win an election than just see America do well. And that's all you really need to know about the left. Susan says, stay away from China. Amen, sister. I'm not going there anytime soon. Please. No. I wasn't planning on going there anyway, but yeah, no, thanks. I'll pass. I think I'm good. Let's see. TDH said he wrote the same question on Twitter this morning. Yeah, I know. And then when you look at what Democrats have put into the aid package, I know. Isn't it frustrating for you people who are paying attention? It's like, can you get any better indication that these people have they don't care about us at all. They just want their wish lists crossed off. Ugh, it's so frustrating. All right. So let me know what else you guys think. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. Let me know, what am I missing? That's what I want to know. Thank you, Swift Justice. I appreciate that. What am I missing with this whole thing? Because for the life of me, I cannot figure out, what is this magic number? What is this threshold that suddenly makes it okay to completely devastate an economy based on projections that haven't happened yet? When it wasn't okay before, it wasn't okay all those other times. We have 60,000 people die a year. It's not okay to devastate an economy. Now, all of a sudden, we've reached a threshold where it's okay. I need to know what that threshold is, because everyone who's argued with me on this, I asked them, what is the threshold? And they say, well, but we don't know enough about the coronavirus. I said, I didn't ask that question. I asked, what is the threshold? No one can freaking answer me. No one can answer me. And by the way, whoever said I should listen to doctors and nurses, I am listening to doctors and nurses while also listening to economic advisors and economic experts, because when you're considering public health, it's not just a virus that you have to consider. It's the well-being of the entire economy and all of the country's citizens that you also have to consider. And doctors and nurses don't know anything about that. So I'm not saying don't listen to doctors and nurses, but I am saying you got to combine that with a couple other experts who are speaking on the matter, because we're not talking about one single person. We're talking about an entire global economy. We're talking about an entire country of citizens. Public health is more than a respiratory virus. Just saying. Okay. I think that I've ranted enough. Enough. You guys are gross. A peep show. Stop it. I am fully clothed. Thank you very much. Let's see. Let me take a couple comments before I go. It's going so fast. Yeah, Lee, same people who are making healthcare workers reuse masks. I was just talking to my mom about that today, and I'm like, I would rather someone just sanitize their hands before they touch me rather than wash and reuse a mask. I don't trust that. Casey Lyon, it's the CCP virus. I know. It's the Wuhan virus. It's the China virus. It's the Chinese Communist Party virus. Whatever you want to call it, I'm down. I don't give a shit if it involves China. I'm sorry. I just swore. Sorry, Mom. I don't care. I don't care. I am not concerned with the Chinese Communist Party's feelings at this point, just like they are not concerned with our feelings, which is why they hid so much information from us. So I'm not too concerned with offending the Chinese government. Moto, do we really believe that there aren't enough masks? I don't really know. I haven't actually looked into that. Can anyone comment on that? Because I have not looked into it. Thank you, you two, for letting me vent. Thank you for letting me vent. Let's see. Aldo, at some point, one has to take responsibility for their own safety. We're just too sensitive. I agree. We all have to take responsibility for ourselves, which is why, at the end of the day, I'm not offended if someone wants to go out and let their kids play on a playground at a park. Because if I want to make the choice to hold myself up inside and not go to the park and not go anywhere and take way crazy precautions, that's also my choice because I am a free citizen, at least for now. At least for now. Who knows what rights the government will take away from us tomorrow, all under the guise of protection of the people. Yes, 904, live at your own risk. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are so, so great. And let's do this again soon. Please, if I could figure out how to end this. Let's do this again soon. This is really fun. And I have a lot of spare time on my hands now that we're all like self-quarantining and I do the show, but after that I'm like, I just have to go back and sit on my couch now. That's boring. So let's do this more often. Joseph, I agree, buy more ammo. Buy a lot more ammo if they're not out where you are. I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.